All right, there we are.
There we are.
Hey, everyone. It's us.
It is us.
Because. So, excuse me, my nose is running. I have allergies really bad.
Me too. I think most people do.
So, we are
suffer from allergies.
Yeah. We are doing something a little different tonight for this podcast. We are, and we could have put our sign behind us. Oh, well.
We could have.
We are doing, in YouTube land, this would be called a mukbang.
A what?
A mukbang. It's
mukbang.
Yeah, in YouTube land, it's when you share a meal as you're talking and doing a video, you're eating. So you're like sharing, it's almost like they're sitting down at the table with you. So what we're doing in this podcast is a mukbang. You're having dinner with us. So if you haven't had a meal, go ahead and grab your favorite cuppa. I'm having a cup of coffee. Jimmy's having his soda. And we usually eat the same thing, but tonight we're doing something different because Jimmy's eating leftover roast beef that I made for Easter dinner, and I'm having a grilled chicken salad.
I guess I should show it to you, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way it works.
And there's mine.
So it doesn't fall off. So I hope you all had a nice Easter. This is 2 days after Easter when we're doing this. And a lot of things have been happening.
Tell them about the concert we're doing with the Peter Gabriel group.
If you follow Peter Gabriel, there's a person named Warren Vlass, V-L-A-S-S. First name is W-A-R-R-E-N. And he came up with this idea to do a concert, and he's looking for people from all over the world, really, on Facebook, to do original songs. And he contacted us and said, would you be interested in performing some material on this live music festival that we're going to do virtually on Saturday and Sunday, actually.
Yeah.
2 days. So it's going to be this coming Saturday and Sunday. I'm not really sure what the dates are.
Mm-mm.
The 11th and 12th, maybe? 6th, I think? Yeah, something like that. And so there's going to be, quite a few people that are going to be doing some original material, maybe a lot of it progressive kind of stuff. It's going to be interesting. Look him up. Warren Vlass, like his page. I don't know the name of his page. Do I need to know that?
No.
No?
We can link it below. How's that? We'll link it.
Yeah, we always say that, and we never do.
Well, we will. If we don't, for whatever reason, please message us or leave us a comment and let us know to link it for you.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. The reason we thought we would have a different podcast tonight, have dinner with us, we came up with this idea, is because, as you know, if you've been following us, we have been so busy up here at the cottage with moving. It took us like 2 months to actually get in here. And we still have things at our other house that we have to get at a later time, but we're renting it to our kids, so it's okay. We can make arrangements with them.
At what time?
A latter time.
Latter time?
Ladder. L-A-T-T-E-R, ladder.
Ladder?
Later. Ladder. So it's like tomato.
No. Later is L-A-T-E-R.
Right.
Latter is L-A-T-T-E-R.
That's what I said.
So,
latter. At a latter time.
A latter time is something that's previous.
Really?
So, or lesser.
Oh. So. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody look it up, okay? Look up the definition and give it to us. L-A-T-T-E-R.
Anyhow. So, we've been really busy with the move. And every time we've been wanting to podcast, something has always come up. Or we're exhausted. So
Yes, we are.
we have a lot of home improvements to do here at the cottage because this house was built when Jimmy was a baby, and there were some renovations done, but and we're not necessarily modernists as far as like we like old world. So it's not like we have to make this house look new again, basically, but there's just certain specific things, such as painting needs done. There's a ceiling that needs removed in the kitchen because it's a drop ceiling, and we no longer, that was what his mom and dad liked, and we don't want that. And, just like little projects here and there of painting and just doing like little minor upgrades.
Fluorescent lights.
Yeah, there's fluorescent lights in the kitchen, and we don't like that at all. So we're creating the house to look old world style, like French provincial, with a mix of eclectic, gypsy. I don't know. Romantic. It's very romantic.
Romantic.
It's a very French romantic style, basically, is what it is.
Oui, oui.
Yeah.
Us.
And I will be doing a home tour on my YouTube channel eventually, but prior to that, as we get projects done, I have been doing like little tidbits here on my Instagram, and then I will be doing small videos on YouTube as well. I think I might have one already, one or two. Like I have Bake a Cake with Me in the Cottage Kitchen. I think I did a little bit in the kitchen where when we put up the we hung up some of the pictures. So, and I'm currently now working in my wardrobe room, which those of you that have been with me over on my Milady Leela channel know that that's basically like the room where it's like my dressing room, and it's a room where I have my art studio. Since we downsized, our bedroom is even smaller, and with our schedules, even though Jimmy and I work together all the time and we're always with each other, there are times that he's resting and I didn't really want to disturb him, so we just took the third bedroom and made it my wardrobe, and then the second bedroom is our office, which is really Jimmy's office, but I like to hang out in there with him. And that's where he does all his work. So my wardrobe is basically where I get ready. I have all my clothes in there, and I also created, it's super cool, I took the doors off the closet and I put a desk in there that fits perfectly. It's actually my nail table that I've had for years because I'm a licensed manicurist, those of you that didn't know. And my nail table fits perfectly in there, along with a cabinet that I can put my art supplies and things in. And it's just really super cool, and I will be doing a home tour on that to show you. So, because, I sing and I make art. That's what I do.
That's what she does.
Yeah. So we thought it would be really cool because we wanted to do a podcast tonight, but we're eating dinner so late. We've been eating dinner late because of our schedule. It's like going on 9 o'clock right now, I think. And we thought it would be really neat to just kind of talk to you and you could have dinner with us. Or even if you're not eating, you're basically having dinner with us.
You can watch us eat and muck around. Muck? Is that what you said, muck?
Yeah, I think it's a Japanese word, actually.
Muck?
Mukbang. It's mukbang is really how it's pronounced, but
What's it mean?
it's like an eating show kind of thing. It's like you're doing a show while you're eating. You're doing a show kind of like, a podcast or a video is like doing a show. So that's like kind of what it is. And it started in, I believe, Japan, and it really took off on YouTube for a while. It's not necessarily as popular right now. There's always all kinds of popular trends going on at different times on YouTube and or social media. Currently, mukbangs are not necessarily the thing, but people still do them.
Never heard of it. Mm-hmm. Never heard of it. I think it's one of the weirdest things that people could do. I love Asian people, don't get me wrong. They're a little out there sometimes. Some of the games that they play.
Well,
You ever see the game shows that they have in Japan?
Well, wait, the thing
Pretty
is,
sure
though,
it's Japan.
to me, this doesn't feel any different than if we were sitting across the table with friends having dinner, because we'd still be sharing and talking with them. This is basically the same thing. You are all our friends, and we're having dinner with you.
You are all our friends, but I don't know if you're eating and you're watching me stuff my face with mashed potatoes and roast beef.
We might be making you hungry to go grab a snack. So,
Mukbang.
we've been busy here at the cottage.
We have.
We just came up with an idea today that since it's going to be a while before we put our music room together, and Jimmy's drums are so portable right now with the electric drums that we use for us, we thought that maybe currently they're being stored in his office, but when we go to practice or do a show, the way our living room is designed now, we really won't be having a living room lounge just because of the way our living room is designed, which is fine because we're going to come up with a really super duper name until we get the music room together for the wardrobe, and we'll be practicing in there and also doing shows in there, live shows. So that's going to be fun. It just being creative and trying to make it work for what we have going at the time. Eventually we're going to have a super cool music studio and we'll be able to perform in there.
Just takes time. It's coming together. But boy, it's a lot of work. Plus, I do work part-time and been having some computer issues as of late. I upgraded my computer, and my good friend, am I allowed to say Michael Shetka?
I don't know. You always push the envelope here on our podcast. Yeah,
Michael Shetka is probably he's the guru, the guru when it comes to computers. I mean, this guy knows everything about computers, and he's been working on our computers and our things. Ours and Justin's for... That's what I said. I said ours and Justin's for about, oh my goodness, 20 years?
Oh my God, has it been that long? Probably.
Probably
well,
longer.
At least 17, maybe 20.
Because he was working on our computers before Dina and I even met. So it's been a while. It's been a long time.
Really?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. He's been working on our computers since Justin was about 5 or 6 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So
it's definitely been more than 20 years.
About 25 years. Anyway.
We're dating ourselves.
I wanted to upgrade my computer. It was 8 gigs, and I wanted to go to 32. So there were 2 slots in there, and he got 2 16 gigs of memory sticks. And came to put them in, and they wouldn't fit. We didn't know why they wouldn't fit, but they wouldn't fit. So in the meantime, I was having a problem with Windows 7 and Windows 10 running at the same time, which was weird.
That is weird.
Don't know how that happened. I'm the one that installed the Windows 10, so that just goes to show you my IT capabilities. They're not the best. So he came over, and he had to wipe the motherboard clean, and he also wiped all of the iHeart stuff that I had on my computer for traffic reports. So I had to call iHeart and get their IT guy to reinstall it for me, because I would have messed it up had I done it again. It's been a long time since we had done that. So in the meantime, it just so happened that there was a problem with the fan, and my computer kept shutting off. Don't know why it did that, but it kept shutting off. Michael came back over. I'll tell you, he's just the coolest guy. He really is. Anytime I have an issue, man, he is there. And he takes care of it. So he said, okay, Jimmy, we're going to get you fixed up because you can't have this going down while you're at work. I mean, he understands that. Just
tell everyone, in case they're new watching us, and they don't know what you do and where you work from.
I work from home. I have a home office, and right now I work in radio. Been doing radio for about 50 years. 73, I don't know. I started in 73, so you can figure it out. And I still do radio part-time. I do traffic reports for iHeartMedia. They are probably the largest corporation in radio in the world. And here in Pittsburgh, they have...
Many.
They have, what, 5? I'm thinking 5. Okay, we have WDVE, 3WS, the X, KISS FM, and Big 104.7, which is a country station. So that's 5 that I do for iHeart. I also do ESPN Pittsburgh, WJAS Pittsburgh, and who else? Is there another one? Occasionally WPGP, which is the answer, I think. So I do traffic reports in Pittsburgh, let people know when there are crashes on the roadways and what to avoid and which ways to go when there are detours, things of that nature. So I kind of do that on a part-time basis. I tell you where to go. That's right.
But getting back to us, we were also thinking that, well, we don't know, but tell us, would you be interested in having us do exclusive discussions or video chats with you?
What do you mean?
You could send us some ideas that you personally have for exclusive videos that we would create just for you, and we would send you that video. So, like, if you had a question about details of how we got started in Sidewinder, even though we talked about it in a podcast, there might be other questions that we didn't address that you might want to know, for example. You know, just different things.
I guess. Or if you wanted to know radio, anything that about my experience in radio.
It doesn't have to be about music. It's basically getting to know us, is really what it is.
So they could ask us anything they wanted? Okay.
But keep it clean, you know.
Well, I guess if there's something that we don't want to answer, we're not obligated.
Right.
You know.
Right. But I know, because there's a lot of people that do a lot of Q&As that their followers want to know, like different, I mean, even simple stuff like, you know, what is your favorite color, or what's your favorite food, or, you know, a lot of people just want to know those things when they are interested in, yeah.
I can see if it was Paul McCartney or Madonna or Miley Cyrus, but I mean, us, did you care? Seriously, I don't know. Maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really. What's the word? Knowledgeable about podcasts. That's what we're doing. Podcasts and things of this nature. I was working on a video last night, and I was looking for something, and it was on Facebook, and I went to Facebook, and it took me about, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half to find it. And Dina was napping, and I didn't want to disturb her. She was out here. It was about, 12:30 or so. And I'm looking for this video.
In the morning.
Looking for this video. 12:30 in the morning, yes.
Not in the afternoon.
Looking for this video. Finally, I found a video, and then I didn't know how to download it into my editor so that I could edit it and do what I needed to do with it. And Dina woke up.
She's probably going, yay!
Dina woke up and, she came in and she said, what are you doing? And so I told her what I was doing. And I said, do you know how to do this? And she says, yeah, get out of the chair.
I'm like, oh my God, it's simple. He goes, maybe for you.
So she kicked me out of the chair, and which was fine. And she said, "Here, this is what you do." I said, "Wow, you did that way too fast. I don't know what you did." So then she explained it to me, and of course she had just woken up and she was a little cranky. So she got that one done, and then there was another one that I needed to download. And she said, "Okay, you do this one so that you'll know how to do it." You know, I guess that's the best way to teach, is just have people do stuff, and then that way maybe you'll retain it. So I did the second one, and it was good. But I mean, had she been awake, it probably would have taken about 15 minutes instead of 3.5 hours. I was up until 4 o'clock. I was up until 4 a.m. And I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I had to go to my cardiologist and
You must be so tired.
you know, go talk to my cardiologist and have a checkup and all that kind of stuff. And
How's your food?
anyway, had she
My
been
food
awake,
was
it was,
delicious.
it was
It got a
very
lot more
good.
sleep.
I want to look up mukbang.
Okay.
Mukbang. Again, I'm not really into this podcast stuff. I'm not really into.
Well, our podcast.
I'm learning.
Our podcast is a little different. I mean, there are a lot of people that podcast this way, but some people just podcast in audio. Jimmy wanted to podcast in audio and visual, so that's what we're doing.
I'm not really sure why, but I figured that would be a better thing to do. Figured you'd like to see her lovely face anyway, not mine.
By the
Hey,
way,
how do you like my hair?
oh my god, how weird! I was just going to talk about my hair.
I am thinking about getting a haircut this Wednesday. My hair, I just let it grow because of COVID.
Oh, leave us a comment and let us know what you think of Jimmy's hair.
Should I grow it long and just like get it styled, or should I cut it like it used to be, which was pretty short? Not real short, you know, not a buzz cut or anything,
You
but
look good both ways.
yeah, it was just shorter. So let me know, long or short? Let me know. What you were going to say something about your hair?
My hair is in a messy side pony because I was cooking. I did not cut it. It's still long, you guys.
She's getting it washed next week.
Jimmy set me up an appointment, yeah. I have not been in a salon. Well, obviously, they're back to work now and they've been, but I don't get my hair cut anymore because it's long. It's pretty much all one length except for this first layer, and I can trim that myself, and I can trim the bottom by myself. I don't have any specific layers. My hair is just one length long, so it's easy to just trim myself to snip the dead ends off. So every time Jimmy was going to the salon once they started opening, I usually wouldn't go with him because I would just end up sitting there, which is fine because I know everyone and I enjoy it, but I, always have things to do. So this last time I went with him and he set up his next appointment and he treated me to the following next appointment that he's setting up, which is taking place this month, to get my hair washed, because one of the most favorite things that I love about a salon is not the cutting, but the hair washing. I love to get my hair washed, and if I could, this sounds so lame, because there's probably people out there that could do this every single month, or maybe even once a week. But we just don't have that in our budget. We're poor musicians.
We are.
That's why Patreon's so important. You guys can help us.
Please.
No. But I haven't been in a salon in the last probably 2 years. And Jimmy treated me to get my hair washed. And I'm so excited because I love it. And they don't even dry my hair. I don't dry my hair. I don't put heat on my hair except for hot rollers when I want to have a little bit of a curl. Even though I have curly hair, hot rollers kind of tames my hair sometimes, and it gives me sort of just like a little more spiral in the style that I want if I'm, wanting that particular look. But they'll wash my hair, and then either they will or I will just braid it, and I let it air dry, and that's what I do at home too. But just to have somebody hand wash your hair and massage your head, it just feels so good.
It does.
Oh,
okay.
I love it, so I'm very excited.
And massages feel good too. Mm-hmm. And speaking of massages, a lot of Asian massage parlors are popping up all over the place, which brings us back to mukbang.
Yeah. Did you look it up?
M-U-K-B-A-N-G. No C. M-U-K-B-A-N-G. A mukbang is an online audio-visual broadcast in which a host consumes large quantities of food while interacting with the audience. It became popular in South Korea back in 2010,
Korea.
and since then has become a huge worldwide trend. Varieties of foods ranging from pizza to noodles are consumed in front of a camera. Mukbang. Have you heard of this? Seriously, have you heard of mukbanging? And have you done it? And why not? This is my first mukbang session,
It
ladies
is.
and gentlemen.
It sounds like something kind of dirty, but it's not.
Well, yeah, it does. It just...
It has to do with eating. And even though it says large quantities, that's originally kind of like, like hot dog eating contest or what are those other contests?
Asians normally win those, too.
But what are those other contests? Hot dogs?
They got pizza, they've got wings.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that in a sense, but it's not like, when originally where it originated from and how and
South
when.
Korea?
It was like that, but not like the contest where you're trying to compete. In the United States, from all of the videos that I watch, it's basically just sitting around like, whoever the host is of the channel that you're watching. If they're having something to eat, they're just talking to you and doing their video while they're having their meal.
So do they look at the camera, or do they ignore the camera?
No, they talk as if you're sitting like
as if you're
having dinner or lunch with them. Or something.
How are you doing today? How did you like the weather? It went up to 70 degrees today. The sun was shining. Mm-hmm. It was so nice. Beautiful day on April 6th.
Oh, right? Yes.
April 6th today.
Tell everyone about the photograph.
Who I used to play in a band with years ago, in a band called Alter. Danny Page, keyboard player.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny. Very good keyboard player, too. Very good producer, very good engineer. He had somebody come into the studio, and her grandfather, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of his name, Kukchek.
I forget.
Anyway, her grandfather back in 1953 went to this kind of like speakeasy place or this club.
Smoky Jazz Bar.
Smoky Jazz Bar back in the 50s, and he went to the owner and he said, would you mind if I take pictures of the people performing in your venue?
And he wasn't a popular photographer at that time either.
And they said, yeah, you could do that. So he brought his camera in whenever there was somebody performing, and I mean, oh my goodness, the pictures this guy got were just amazing. Do you remember some of the artists?
Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday, yeah, Billie Holiday was one of them. I think Louis Armstrong might have been another one. And back in those times, these folks were just up-and-coming musicians. And, people who did music, and they were trying to do it for a living, much like we are, only they were much more successful. But anyway, well, they were, being honest.
Not then. They were up and coming.
They were okay. They were up and coming. They were basically doing what they call a circuit, and with a circuit, you play Pittsburgh one night at a jazz club. You play Ohio the next night. You play Chicago, whatever the case may be.
They were just getting started, also.
Yes. So anyway, this person who was recording it at Danny said, "Hey, Danny, my grandfather has a bunch of pictures. He was a photographer, and I found a bunch of his work in our basement. And all these pictures, yeah, they're just amazing. And so he said, yeah. She said, well, would you like to have them? And he goes, yeah, I'd like to have them. And so he said, there was one of a drummer. And he goes, I know a friend of mine would really like this picture. So he called me up one day and he goes, hey, Jimmy, I have something for you. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, I'll give it to you the next time you come down. Had no idea what it was. I said, okay. So we went to his house and we were talking to him, chit-chatting, and he goes, oh, I got something for you. And he goes, look at this. And he showed us the pictures of Billie Holiday and the other people, and I mean, they were amazing pictures, just incredible photography. And he goes, look at this one. He said, do you know who this is? And he unrolled it. Picture's pretty big.
He knew, right?
He unrolled it. Did he know? Of course he knew.
Yeah.
He wanted to know if I knew.
Yeah.
And I had to look at it for a minute, you know, because this was back in 1953, okay? People's looks change a little bit. And so I looked at it, and I said, oh my God, that's Buddy Rich. He said, yeah. He said, it's Buddy Rich. He said, this is yours. I said, what? He said, yeah. He goes, I couldn't think of a better person to give it to. We've been through so much together. You know, you're my friend, and I really want you to have this. He said, to my knowledge, and it was autographed by the photographer that took the picture. And Frank Kukurchek is his name. He said, the only other place that you can see this photo, he said, you can't buy it at all. He said, you know, this guy, you know, all of his photographs are now hanging in a museum in Ohio. And he said, this photograph of Buddy Rich is hanging in that museum. And these pictures that I have of Billie Holiday and these other people are hanging in that museum. And that is the only other place that you can see these pictures other than what we have here. I guess they were just kind of lost in the shuffle, and the granddaughter just happened to stumble across them.
Unfortunately, though.
Oh, you have to go into that. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, unfortunately, because these photographs were so old, and apparently
In the basement.
they were in the basement and kind of neglected. They're not like in pristine condition. The ones in the museum obviously are, because they were given to the museum at a specific time. I'm not sure how that happened or what transpired, but the condition of the pictures is not like 100%. If you know, I mean, you can see the picture, but it's an old picture, so there's some I don't know. It's not really watermarks. What would you call it? Just like structural damage, basically.
It got a little bit wet, that's all.
Yeah, you know, dampness, I guess, from...
Should I get it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, and behind us, by the way, this is the back wall to our foyer here that we've created at the cottage. If you remember when we were in the living room lounge, this was like an open... And we were actually opposite when we would perform for you. Now we're sitting the other direction, and we've created a wall behind us. And right now the wall that we created is with 2 bookcases, because Jimmy and I are complete bibliophiles. We love books. And we have so many, and we wanted to display them along with some of our really cool little tchotchkes that we keep and on our bookcases. So what we're going to do with this wall behind us is, you could probably see a little bit, there's a cord hanging because it lights up on the other side, which is super cool. But we're going to cover this with something yet, and we haven't decided what, but we're working on that. We should have went to Lowe's today while we were out and about just to see what they have, but anyways, we could do that another day.
But getting back to the picture,
I got to say, this is my favorite part of the meal. This is a Nestle Nutty Buddy.
yeah,
They come in the original, which is vanilla. They come with chocolate fudge inside, and some of them have caramel.
yum. Which one do you have?
Or is it caramel? I have the regular.
Nice.
My daily routine is eat dinner and have a Nutty Buddy
Yeah,
every day. They're delicious.
they are good.
And if anybody from Nestle's is watching, feel free to send me coupons to go get free ones.
Or sponsor us.
Or sponsor us. No, these are delicious. I love these
They
things.
really are. And you know what? We have tried the Walmart brand, which they're not that bad. They're not. But this particular drumstick, Nestle's drumstick brand,
That's
is,
why I eat them. It's a drumstick.
yeah, is really the best. It really is. Yeah, Nestle's, if you are listening, sponsor us, because Jimmy is a drummer. We love your drumsticks. That's a really good idea. We should
do.
contact them. Anyhow,
So you were talking about...
just talking about the picture. So the picture is lovely. We decided that we wanted to get it framed. So we went to Michael's and we were going to consider the cost of getting it professionally framed versus perhaps finding a frame and our own mat, that we could put it together ourselves. And we were going to do that. But we did get a price, and then they have this really cool thing where they can computerize your image with all the different frames and all the different mats, and there's other things, I forget what they call them, that goes in between the mats as like different decor.
Oh, yeah.
It's a specific name. But they show you on the computer screen, based on your selection, what it's going to look like. And, obviously, it is a lot more expensive to have that done than it is to do it yourself. But with a picture of that nature, and it was already damaged because of its age and being stored in someone's basement, we felt that it was important for the integrity of the picture, and because of what the picture is, that we wanted to keep it exactly where it was at and not get any worse.
And who gave it to me?
Yeah. And there's like the bottom of Buddy Rich's drums is where, in this picture, is where most of the damage was. And then at the very top, when you're looking at the picture, I just discovered today when we picked it up, upper left-hand corner, there was like a fold that you can see. But it was still worth it to get it framed and matted. It really was. And the cool thing about, though, the water damage marks, if that's what they are, like little splatters, it almost looks like, when you first look at it, unless you're completely scrutinizing the image, it almost looks like it could be lights that were, specifically set to focus on the bottom of the kick drum, and that's what I saw originally, until I really started scrutinizing the picture. I thought it was like lights, like little pinpoints of lights. But our plan for that, excuse me, I feel like I have salad in my teeth. Our plan for that is we're going to hang that in our music room, and the matting and frame and whatever that other thing is that we chose it because we wanted to go with a specific vibe. And it's funny because where we moved from, our music room, we practiced in there at one point in time, but it eventually became like a mash pit or mosh pit. I mean, it was like we would just unload and load and throw things in there, and we had some pictures on the walls, but it really wasn't pretty. But now here at the cottage, we are really going to make this room awesome. We're going to make it a super cool music studio with a smoky jazz bar vibe.
But we don't smoke.
We don't smoke
We
at
use
all.
the fog machine.
But
We have several.
because we're musicians and we play in bars and clubs where sometimes there is a lot of smoking going on, which we don't necessarily like, but that old school vibe of the smoky jazz bar is just so cool. There's like such a vibe to that. And we are going to be able to, we have like, we were looking at carpeting today versus, it used to be called Pergo. They might still have that, but now they have this vinyl flooring, which is really beautiful. It's the same thing where it snaps together as the Pergo, but it's a lot easier to clean and it's flatter. And we're thinking that that's probably the flooring we're going to do. And the cool thing about that is we can install that right over top of the carpeting that's in the room right now, because the room that we're using was like an addition that Jimmy's mom had built many, many years ago, and they just put like indoor outdoor carpeting in there, which sufficed for the whole time, you know, but it's worn, and Mom had wanted to get that replaced, and she and I actually, in fact, had gone out several times on several occasions looking for carpet, and just never really found anything that we liked, and she was not into, she wasn't sure about the Pergo flooring or anything like that. She just really wanted carpet instead. So we just never really bothered getting it. But now that we're here, we've inherited the home, and we're going with this vibe. We were looking at all kinds of things, just getting ideas. And it's going to be a long while, you guys, before we actually do a tour of it. But that's the plan. And it's honestly not that expensive. Particularly where we're looking at Ollie's, and Ollie's really has the best prices as compared to Lowe's, and Lowe's is really good too, but I mean, I think this was even cheaper.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, we even found, we were looking for some bathroom floor tile. The peel and stick kind is what we want to do at the moment. I mean, eventually we might do something different, but we need to change the flooring in the bathroom. The flooring is tile, and it's the teeny tiny tiles from way back when it was installed. It's probably the original floor, right? Do you remember? Oh, it's not the original floor.
No.
What was the original floor? The same tile that's underneath?
The bedroom.
Oh, okay. Which, incidentally, I love the flooring in this house, but it's covered up by carpet except for our bedroom, my wardrobe, although there's a room-size carpeting in there. And Jimmy's office used to have that tile, but my mother-in-law had installed herself when she was able, many years ago, the peel and stick tile. And she did like a faux wood floor kind of thing in there. I'm not really a fan of what's in there now because it's shiny and it just doesn't, I don't know, I don't really care for it. But it's okay for now. We're not complaining about it because we have a really cool round rug in Jimmy's office, and it kind of covers the floor space, so it's okay.
It's like the round
You were
rug that's in here.
You were gonna put the zebra rug in there too, weren't you?
I was. That's going in the music room.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're gonna put a zebra rug. We have a zebra rug, which is super cool. We use
It's not
it.
a real zebra.
No, it's not a real zebra. It's just like a 5x7 carpet.
Yeah.
That's zebra
pattern.
And on a couple of occasions, many years ago, we used it with the band for a while, where we put it, you know, like you see on TV when they have like those intimate kind of spaces where you put the carpet down and the singers and the guitar players and bass player are on the carpet, and we did that for a while. That was really cool. But we're going to use it in our music room now, which will definitely go with that vibe that we're trying to create. Mm-hmm. But the flooring in the music room currently, which is that indoor-outdoor carpet, wouldn't even need to be ripped out. We could just install this right on top of it. But I was talking about the peel and stick tile, I'm sorry. So the tile floor in the bathroom, Jimmy said, was not original. It was done many, many years ago, probably in the late 60s, early 70s. Mm-hmm. And it's nice, but the grout is so old, it like, even with scrubbing, it doesn't, it's like, it's not dirty because we clean the floor, but it's just discolored, and it's very slippery.
Very slippery.
It is.
Because it's tile, and and not that peel and stick tile would be really that different, but I think it would be a little bit different. So we were looking at this peel and stick tile at Ollie's today, and you get 25 pieces in a box.
24.
24 pieces in a box, whereas the ones we were looking at Walmart, you only get 20 pieces in a box. So I was going to have to order more if I went with Walmart.
And Ollie's is $9.99
versus
$12.99 at
well,
Walmart
yeah.
or Lowe's.
Yeah. Now the thing at Walmart,
Ollie's is a cool store.
it is the
is
Walmart
really neat.
one though. I like the Walmart one because we're going to go with black marble tile in the bathroom, and the Walmart one, the marbling was very subtle. And I liked it. Now, I have to do a little bit more research because we would like to go with the Ollie's brand because it is cheaper. It's $9.99.
Is it their brand?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's shiny. I have to research. I put it in the shopping cart just to hold it in there in the Walmart shopping cart online. I have to research it because I think the one from Walmart might be matte. And if it is, even though it's more expensive, that's why, and we'll probably go with that because
We need a couple more Patreon people before we do that.
matte won't be as slippery. And like I said, I like the marbling effect at the Walmart one. At least in the pictures, it looks a lot more subtle than the one from Ollie's. So we'll see. I have to do a little bit more research, and we're not quite ready yet to do the floor, but I want to do that as soon as possible. I mean, as soon as I can find it. It's so funny because here we are at the cottage. We have almost everything that we need. Not everything, but like we ordered all the paint, which was fabulous. We did a Walmart.com unboxing with you guys on our channel. And not about this though, but the thing about Walmart.com is since we did that video with you guys, they now have DoorDash or Grubhub or whatever it is. What's that other thing? Whatever, like an Uber kind of thing, where they have actual delivery people other than UPS or FedEx or Amazon kind of thing. Well, Walmart's not with Amazon. But they have actual people that work with those apps come to your door and deliver. I ordered paint, you guys, at 2 o'clock in the morning one night for this house. Jimmy and I had gone to the store and picked out the colors that we wanted in the little slices that you can pick up in the paint department. And so we knew what we were looking for. We knew the brand. We ordered it online so that we wouldn't have to carry these paints, through the store, into the car, out of the car, into the house. It was delivered to our front porch at 8 a.m. It was incredible. So we have all of our paints ready to go. And, so this particular podcast is almost like a home decor, but that's okay. You guys want to get to know us. So we ordered, we're going to do an accent wall. We love the color black, which obviously you guys know. We all wear, black on stage. When we're with Hat Trick, almost everyone's wearing black. In Sidewinder, I always wear black. Jimmy usually wears black. The guys wear jeans, but they wear black tops or black vests if we're doing a bike night. Ray would wear, with Hat Trick, a black leather vest. Black is a really good color to wear on stage because it looks good under the lights that projects to the people in the audience, and it's just easy, and then everybody color matches, and it's great. So we love the color black, and we have always wanted kind of a black and white look somewhere in our house, like a black and white wall sort of accent type of thing. But we didn't know how we were going to do that. And when we lived at the castle, we had done an accent wall, but at the time we had a wall that was kind of shaped like this. So the two window sides went in like this on the one wall, and then there was a flat wall that we put our bar up against. So the window walls we did in an eggplant purple, and the section where we had our antique bar, was black, and it looked so good.
It did.
So now the color scheme that we've chosen here at the cottage is going to be, the walls are currently painted like a really, like a beigey sand color, which is nice, but we want to freshen everything up and make the house look a little bit bigger, even though that is a light color. So we're going to paint the walls antique white, which I cannot wait. It's going to freshen up the space so nice. And then our TV wall is going to be black onyx, it's called. It's by Glidden, I think, from Walmart. And it's going to be super cool because I'm not really a fan of TV, so I kind of wanted the TV to melt. Well, not that I'm not a fan of TV. I love watching Netflix and movies and stuff like that on our TV.
I love watching people mukbang.
But I wanted the TV to kind of melt into the wall, and we had considered getting like a huge custom picture frame that we were going to customize ourselves, DIY, and make it like really cool, like gold accents or brassy accents to match our decor. But then we thought of this black accent wall and how the TV would just melt right into the wall. And we also have our air conditioner on that same wall, so I'm going to paint the air conditioner black, and then all the cords are most of them are already black, so I'm just going to paint them as well. So everything will like melt into the wall. You won't be able to see that. And you know, because our TV, I mean, you're not going to be able to see it anyways because everything's going to be installed behind the TV once we get it all together. But that wall's going to be black onyx, and then the rest of the walls in our living room and foyer are going to be the antique white. Foyer. Like I said, the house is French provincial, so it's a foyer, not a foyer.
It's a foyer.
Foyer. It's a foyer. That's how it's pronounced in French. But anyhow, so, and I can't wait to show you the other side of the wall, which takes you into the foyer. We have a super cool black chandelier lamp that's kind of a modern sort of chandelier, but like everything meshes together. Like I said, the house style is honestly so romantic. It's like, it's really romantic.
It is.
It is. And
Dina has done an incredible job basically putting it together herself.
I love home decor, you guys. And honestly, I've always wanted to do home decor for other people.
She's a great designer.
I would love to go into somebody's house, like if you invited me to work for you, and design your home for you. I just, you know, go shopping for your furniture, you tell me your style. I mean, it would just, I would love to do that.
She's good at it.
One of the coolest things we did,
Very good.
and this is funny because Jimmy always does this whenever I talk about stuff, even though he knows I'm a great designer. There are times he'll come up with ideas and he'll go, like, he'll just make that look. And I'm like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to do that? We've been together for so many years. You know how it all comes together. You know you trust my judgment, but yet you always roll your eyes in the beginning. It's so funny. I told him, okay, at the castle, we had an eat-in kitchen at the castle. We actually have an eat-in kitchen here at the cottage as well. But we've decided not to eat in our kitchen. And honestly, when Mom was here with us, we didn't eat in the kitchen either. We had a table in the kitchen, but we never ate in the kitchen because we always ate in what she called the patio, which is going to be our music room.
Foyer.
Foyer. That's what
It is. It is foyer.
See?
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, foyer.
Foia with a thing that says A.
Yeah, foyer.
Foyer. So in
Yeah.
case you want to say it properly, it's not foyer.
Well,
Foyer.
A lot of people call it a foyer. You
Well,
know,
they're wrong.
But it really
It's
is
a
a foyer.
foyer. It's a foyer.
It's a French.
I call it a foyer.
Does it say French?
I don't know.
Anyhow, yeah, because if you listen to it like the translation is, it's foyer.
Foyer. Oui, monsieur.
No, it's monsieur.
Whatever.
Anyhow. Oh, Monsieur Jackson.
Monsieur.
We had a kitty cat. His name was Mr. Jackson.
Cloutier.
And we used to say, Monsieur Jackson. And, oh yeah, and we're straying here, but you know, you're getting to know us. And I'll get back to the home decor in just a moment. We went on a trip years ago to Hilton Head, and there was a stray cat that would lurk around the villas He was super cute.
Cool cat.
He was a black cat with little white tufts in his ears. So adorable. And we actually invited him into our villa, and my dad freaked out because we were vacationing with my parents, and my dad freaked out because he's like, he loves animals, but he's like, what'd you let that cat in here for? It could have fleas.
Yeah.
Anyhow, and
I guess it could.
It's a timeshare, and he was concerned that, like, they would, yeah. So he was a stray cat, and apparently he got into a fight at one point in time. So his ear was like nipped. It was like split. So we said he had a clip ear. So we called him, instead of saying clip ear, we called him clip air. It was so funny.
He's a cool cat.
He was. We have pictures of him somewhere. But anyhow, getting back to the patio. So we always ate in the patio at the farmhouse table that Mom had. So the round table, though, it was a farmhouse round table that was in the kitchen, is going to be a part of the smoky jazz bar vibe in our music room. Although it's not like we're going to be eating our dinners or anything in there, although we could, but we won't. It's more for like sitting around, nights at the round table, because we're into Renaissance. When we write music, when we're trying to be creative, and we have our friends over that are musicians or our bandmates, and we're, with Hat Trick, and we're just like talking about music, writing music, and just doing things that have to do with music. And the picture that we just talked about earlier is going to be hung on chain coming down from the ceiling above that table. It's going to be
Buddy Rich.
So awesome. Okay, but anyhow, getting back to the castle table in our kitchen, I don't remember where I got the table. I've had it for years. Did I have it when I had my, when I lived at the duplex when we were dating?
I believe so.
But I must have used the leaf because I had a big table.
It was bigger, yeah.
So
yes.
I must have used the leaf in it then. Yeah, that's probably what I did. I can't remember if I had two tables.
Dining room?
I had a dining room and a kitchen, but I don't think we ate in our kitchen there.
I think one of the dining room was more rectangular.
I thought so too.
Yeah, it was more rectangular.
So maybe it was their table that they left. Okay, then this table was in there. Okay, so this table that I had in our castle kitchen, the magical kitchen, had a leaf. Where the leaf is now, I have no idea, but it doesn't matter. In any event, we always used it as a round table because Jimmy and I have always enjoyed round tables. It's just much more intimate. Like when you go to an event and they have round tables versus elongated tables, it's just so much more intimate. You can chat with everyone, and it just feels so good. So we didn't really eat that often in the magical kitchen at the castle either, because Jimmy likes to watch TV when he eats. Unless we were having, when we had family, when we were raising our kids, that was a totally different story.
Yes, it was.
We ate at the table all the time. But when it's just he and I, when we became empty nesters, we usually just bring our dinner to our coffee table in the living room, and we would just eat there and only use the round table in the kitchen for special things, like if we did a home-cooked anniversary meal or something like that. And then we would also use the round table as like a buffet table when we would have a party to put our food out on, along with the countertops in the kitchen. So I had this vision when we moved here to the cottage that I wanted a round coffee table. We have a round sectional couch, and with a round sectional couch, because I know design, it makes sense to have a round coffee table. If you have a squared kind of sectional couch, you would want a square coffee table. So I said to Jimmy, what would you think about using our kitchen table as a coffee table? And he's like, it's too tall. Like, he just wasn't really envisioning what I was talking about. And I said, I know, it is the way it is, but I'm thinking about cutting it down on the legs to a specific inch
And I did some research, and coffee tables usually go between 16 and 20 inches from floor to tabletop. And I wanted something that we could comfortably eat at, but wasn't quite as tall as a regular dinette type of table. So I opted for the 20 inches, and I said, what would you think about cutting down the legs so that we have the 20 inch from the floor to the tabletop? And he's like, he did that look, like, you know. And I'm like, I get mad sometimes, you know.
She does.
Like, I'm not always nice, you guys. And I was like, what? And
Especially to me.
I got mad because I was like, again, you've known me for so many years. You know my ideas. They always work out when it comes to home design. And if they don't, you know, it's very rare and far and few in between that it doesn't look good. After it's done, you always go, yeah, that looks really nice. So I had my son-in-law-to-be, Garrett, cut down the table legs. And the coolest thing about this table was that there was, like, I guess you call them rungs around the spindles on the table, and it was like the perfect measurement from the top of the table down to the rung that needed to be cut off. The first rung that needed to be cut off was 20 inches. He has all the tools. He's got everything. He cut it down. It took a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, if it was me, I would have been with a handsaw for hours. But anyhow, Garrett cut it down for me. We brought it in, got it into the living room space, and which right now, as I said earlier, the way we have flip-flopped the living room and created this foyer and like intimate living room space, it looks so good. Everyone loved it. They're like, wow. The night that Garrett put it in here for us, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. Like the whole family that was over that night, they're like, oh my God, that looks great. And then we had our friend and neighbor from across the street come over, who helps us out with a lot of yard work and different things like that. We invited him in for a cup of coffee this one day, and he goes, oh wow, I really like that coffee table.
Yeah.
So I told him the story, and he was like, wow, that's really cool. So yeah, it can be done, you guys. And even now, the table that we have in here in our living room was a 4 spindle table. Like it had 4 spindles. So I have also seen it done on a farmhouse table like the one that we had in the kitchen when Mom was with us, that, as I said, is now going into our music room. It's got that round base and the feet that come out. You can do it with that too, and that also looks really, really cool. But I wanted the dark wood for our living room, and I really wanted to use our table from our magical kitchen inside our living room. So
she does an amazing job whenever she is designing and creating, and some of the things she comes up with, I just kind of like shake my head, like she says, roll my eyes, because as she reminds me daily, I am not an artiste. I am not an artiste.
Well, he is, but in a different way.
Visionary, you know, so.
And when it comes to decor, no. And when it comes to actual, like, physical art, Jimmy's not an artist. He can draw. I mean, honestly, Jimmy can draw better than me. I don't draw, you guys, but I can paint, which is so weird. Like, I can visualize it in my head and put the paintbrush in my hand, and it comes out. But if I go to draw it first, no. I don't know why. It just doesn't work out. But anyhow, but Jimmy's an artist in other ways. He is an artist when it comes to music. And, you know, I guess I am too, but he's an artist when it comes to music. He's an artist when it comes to his creativity with how he does marketing. I mean, he's really, really good. So,
well, thank you.
It's very artistic in the way you do things.
And I used to be a pretty good radio guy, personality-wise. That was many years ago.
Yeah, well, now you're really not allowed to. We started talking about that. Let's not get too deep into that because it's probably not appropriate.
We won't go there.
But yeah, now you know you're not. You have to be really careful about the things that you say.
Big time.
Not only on radio but on TV as well. So
or on the street.
Yeah, it's really sad. But
I'm kind of curious. we've been done with dinner for a while.
Yeah, where are
we
we
are we
now?
still mucking?
It's
Do we need-
10:25.
Do we need to get some more food to
No.
muck some more, or where do we go from
No.
here?
So where do we go from here?
I've already
Okay.
had my dessert, so
I think that
the floor is yours.
Our last podcast episode, excuse me, was about Sidewinder, and we left off.
With Bob Spack,
With
and
Bob
we were getting
Spack.
into Jack Getman.
Yes, so probably the next podcast we will pick up with the Sidewinder story. We had hoped to put our podcast out weekly for you guys, but
We try.
bear with us. It's just been very
We try.
time consuming with what we're doing here at the cottage, and we're just doing our best. And now we're starting to get back into gigging. We haven't gigged yet, but we do have our first gig coming up with Hat Trick.
That the nudist colony, is that the first one?
No, I think we're doing May 22nd.
Oh, it's a benefit.
Yeah, it's a benefit at the White Stallion, so if you're interested in going, it's at the White Stallion in West Virginia.
Chester, West Virginia.
We don't have a time yet, so just go ahead and if you haven't liked our Hat Trick page yet, that's the band page that we do with the other guys. You can go over there, and it's just Hat Trick Tunes on Facebook. Just start typing that in, it'll come up. It's a little drum head and it says Hat Trick. So we'll be posting once we get that event date there. But as far as us is concerned, we did mention we have an online gig scheduled for what did we say?
Well, I don't, it's this weekend, but
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
this
have
weekend.
a time slot. If you go to our Us page on Facebook, please like it, and we will keep you informed there. As I'll put a link, and we'll also give you a time. But you want to, if you're into progressive music, you'll definitely want to catch some of the other bands. They're from all over the country here, and I think a couple of other bands. There may be a couple of bands from like Poland or Germany, other countries. So it's going to be a really cool thing
Yeah.
put on by Warren Vlass, VLASS.
Yeah, and we will try to remember, as said, to link his page. And then how about Grzorik's too?
Grzegor.
We can link his page too because he's a really cool
He's
dude.
really
also,
a cool dude, yeah.
And if you like progressive music, which we do, and that's really not the type of music that we're going to be doing gigging out, but like some of our home performances that we'll be doing here at the Storybook Cottage. Storybook Cottage. I said that a little fast. You might catch some progressive stuff because that's kind of how we write.
It's I was brought up basically on, while other people were into R&B and psychedelic and things of that nature, I was into Genesis and Yes and King Crimson and Aphrodite's Child and things of that nature. I used to hang out with a guy named Topper Fraley.
Hi, Topper.
Hi, Topper. Very cool guy. A very cool guy. And he turned me on to an awful lot of things, and I turned him on to a few things, too. And it's more of a challenge for me as a drummer, playing that kind of stuff rather than playing some of the stuff that's just, 4/4 timing. It's still fun. I still enjoy it, don't get me wrong. But my musical taste, genre-wise, is progressive.
Yeah, so, the things that we do here at home, the live performances that we share will probably be a little bit more progressive as we continue to get back with our good friend Danny Page that we talked about earlier in this podcast. He does work with us, and he has a studio and produces for us and stuff like that. So, but we'll leave those links below. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you haven't already become a fan on Patreon, we would love for you to join us there. We do podcasts there too, but the podcasts there are basically music. And we're going to be doing some other podcasts in addition to music ultimately. But for right now, we have several podcasts up with some audio of some shows that we did. And then we also, and that's a $3 level tier.
And then we have a $5 level tier. That I don't know. I might be confused on that. There's a $3 level tier and a $5 tier. One of them is podcasts where we have music, and the other one, I think the $5 one is our actual live shows, which I can't remember if we put anything up there yet. We might have.
Well, if we haven't, what do you want to put up?
Well, we have several live shows.
Oh, I should.
Yeah. So anyhow, regardless,
we have the Altar show,
regardless,
we've got the Hard Rock shows.
join us on Patreon. We will go ahead and leave the link below for that as well. It's really simple. It's patreon.com/usbecause. And we have lots of plans over there. And let us know if you'd be interested in the one-on-one kind of things where we chat with you exclusively, or where we answer questions. You know, there's all different things that we are open to do, that we would like to do on our Patreon page, because that's like really our fan page. And we want to make that exclusive to those people that are interested in supporting that on a monthly basis. So we would really appreciate that. And as time goes on, we're hoping to get merch and those kind of things. So
yes, we are. Most definitely.
With us. So we thank you so much for spending your time and sharing your time with us wherever you are in the world. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. Follow us also on YouTube. We will leave that link below as well. And yeah, if we've left anything out, just leave us a comment and let us know.
Yes, please. We've enjoyed this time with you, and hopefully we'll try to do it again next Tuesday. We try to do it every Tuesday, as Dina said, but boy, I'll tell you, it's extremely tough. We'll do it as soon as we can, and please bear with us. And I know that there are people like Carol McKeever and Grub Smith and our friend from McKee's Rocks, I should say, Stacy. No, we know that there's
Bob Gula. He likes to support us and watch us. Yeah.
There's we've got about 22 regular, steady followers right now. We're thankful for all of you. Thank you so much for following us. And if you haven't started following us yet, please hit the bell over there.
Yeah, and you know what else I was going to mention is on Facebook we have a group page. Friends of USbecause.
Friends of USbecause.
So we have our Us page, which is like our band Us page, but we also have like a group page so that, you know, everybody can join community there. So
yes. So thank you. We hope to do this again real soon.
Yeah.
And we hope to try to get out there and do some gigs real soon too.
And thanks for having dinner with us.
Thanks for mucking with us. We appreciate it.
Bye.
See you. Spit on the fire.